We talked a lot about eye exercises in this channel, but did you know that what's going on inside the brain is more important than working on the eyes themselves? So today I'll dedicate this video to walk you through some activities and exercises for better brain performance. Some people deal with memory issues or recovery after injury, or they just basically want to improve their eyesight naturally. And here's exactly the process that we go through for better brain performance. The first exercise is simply balancing the left brain and right brain. I'm not going to confuse you with the scientific names, what's going on inside the brain, but basically how it goes is left brain controls the right side of your limbs and right controls the left. If you remember, one of the exercises we did was called cross-scrolling. I'll repeat it again. So it basically goes like that. You go with your right elbow or palm and lift your opposite knee and touch it. So you go left, right, right, left, and you do this for about 10 times. Don't forget to breathe while you're doing that. What you're doing, basically, you're sending the signal for both brains to be balanced. You're controlling the left side and the right side together. And this can be done when you take your breaks after sitting for a long time on your desk or first thing in the morning. I love to do that before I go to stage to give a presentation, or just basically if I have any video to record, I try to balance my brain before I go about with my recordings. And since we're talking about left brain and right brain, we already know that each one of us has more dominant side. For example, myself, I'm right-handed. So what we do on a daily basis, let's take it from brushing your teeth or combing your hair, we try to stick to one side, but what you're doing is you are not activating the other half of your brain. One activity you can do today is when you are brushing or combing your hair, try to use your opposite hand, or just make the line different and see for yourself. It does take time to build these neural pathways. It's called neuroplasticity inside the brain. This is one of the most effective ways to build and activate this perfect connection between your left brain and right brain. Another exercise you can do today is to move your hands in a circular motion as if you are pulling something towards yourself, like a string or something, in a circular motion. And then keep one hand going in this side or this direction, and we're trying to engage the other hand while this is moving inward. We'll move that one outwards like that. And this is activating both your brains, and it will have better communication. What most people will be doing is they will be moving in this direction. So both hands will be going outward or inward. What we're looking for again is the opposite direction. So if this is going inward, we want this one to go outward, okay? Or the opposite direction. It does take time to build this neuroplasticity. It is activating both hemispheres together. One more exercise you can do is try to draw a line up and down with one hand and move the other hand in a zigzag up position while you're going up and then out, and then now the opposite. So while I'm going up, I want my hand to go down, okay? So this way. Or moving down with my other hand and moving up with this one. Now moving up sideways, and so on. The other exercise is try to do an 8 figure or infinity sign with both hands moving in opposite direction. So this is going up, left, down, up, and then this is up, right, down, and then center. And move your side with it. Try to focus on one hand at a time. This is again crossing the midline, which is the separated barrier between your left brain and right brain. And eyesight has a lot to do with communication between your left brain and right brain. Believe it or not, this exercise improves eyesight. Another exercise is to move your both hands inward and outward, inward, outward, inward, outward, and then try to double the speed of one hand. Let's go with this one. So whenever I go twice, I'll go once with this one. So 1, 2, 3, and do the opposite. 1, 2, 3. It's not going to be easy at the beginning, but with practice, you'll be able to see for yourself that both hemispheres are more efficient at communicating. And the more you communicate better, the more your memory improves and the better you understand or grasp a new concept. The next exercise for the brain is juggling. Of course, it's not going to be easy at the beginning, so try to build it up. So start with one ball, you toss it without looking at it directly. So I'm looking at the camera, I'm tossing this. If it can go and cross my forehead, that will be the optimum distance. I'm trying to use my peripheral vision. So this is really balancing your muscles with your brain and your vision. And then after you really think you can get a hold of this, use both balls together. So this is how we start. We toss this up and move the other side, and then toss this up and move it the other side, something like that. Or if you get a hold of this basic motion, you can imagine that there are two peaks here, and this one will go to this peak and this one will go to the other peak, so they don't collide. So here's how I would start. I would start with two balls, two different colors, and I'll toss the one with my right hand towards a peak closer to my left side, and then the ball, the blue ball on my left hand, toss it towards somewhere on my right side. And your signal to toss the other ball is when the first ball reaches its peak and it's about to fall, something like that. I'm not a perfect juggler, by the way, I'm just trying. And then once you master two balls, we'll introduce another one, and we'll try to juggle it so that we have three peaks. Each one is dedicated to a ball. This is how it goes. You introduce a third ball, and I would hold two in one hand, try to toss the first one, and then follow it by my left hand, and then the third one. I'm not a perfect juggler again, I'm just trying my best. Here you go. And just a side note, did you know that in a study they found that jugglers have a larger brain? That means a lot for people who are able to balance their brain. If you want to learn more about eye exercises and how to improve your eyesight naturally, please go ahead. And if you're wondering if eye exercises really work, I highly recommend you watch my video here where I go and experiment for myself eyesight improvement and go through the tools and all the techniques I did to improve my eyesight. See you there.